For today's props class, we are using the foam roller. We're going to start the foam roller workout with some half roll back movements. So I'm sitting on the kind of last third to last quarter of my foam roller. My feet are sit bone distance apart and the arms are out in front of me. Taking a breath in. On my exhale, I'm going to use that pelvic wheel and I'm going to roll tailbone to pubic bone to belly button. And I'm rolling to just sort of the top of the tailbone where it's meeting my sacrum, and then I'm going to roll myself back. So I'm not going super far to start this movement. Exhale, scooping through those low belly muscles, staying open through the chest. Rolling myself back. So just kind of mobilizing through the spine as we begin. Ooh, testing our balance. So the foam roller is really nice because it's a cylinder and it's an unstable base. So we get to challenge ourselves just a little bit more with props like this, which is kind of nice. That's one of the things I really love about Pilates. You add a different prop and suddenly exercises that you've gotten quite used to take on a whole new meaning. And I find Pilates is really humbling for that reason. We're going to do two more here, scooping through those tummy muscles. And one more time. Let's hold that. Bring the arms up above the head. Feel the abdominals kicking in just a little bit more, lowering those legs down. I'm trying to stay very connected into my feet, which want to lift up and off, but I'm not allowing that to happen. Balancing, lots of inner thigh needed here to keep me from falling off of the foam roller. Breath in and up. We're gonna do it again. So what's fun about the foam roller is there is very much a chance that you might fall off. So scooping through the tummy muscles, really trying to stay connected through those inner thighs, through that core, feet on the mat, arms up and down. Try not to get too grippy in the hip flexors. It's hard, but ooh, working nice and slowly, deepening those abs. One more time here. Deepen those abdominals, deepen those abdominals. And then roll up. All right, now you can just lower yourself down onto the foam roller, or you can join me as we roll ourselves down the entire way. So scooping through the tummy muscles, rolling through the spine. It's like our roll-ups when we're rolling down toward the mat. Keep rolling through that pelvic wheel. Roll through that pelvic wheel. Let the lumbar come in connection with the foam roller. And then the arms are going to come back. Now, I don't have anything really to put my head on, so I do have to correct here. And you have a couple of choices here. The foam roller, because it rolls, can sometimes make people feel a little nauseated or a little vertigo, especially like around the head because the head is kind of moving. So you can place a yoga block at the end here. Place your head onto the yoga block and then have the rest of your spine and torso lying on the foam roller. It'll take the wobble out of the head, which will help take some of that nauseating feeling out of the work. So just a little bit of help there if you start to feel like maybe this doesn't feel super great. Take a moment to just enjoy your spine on the foam roller. This is a chance for us to really just let the rest of our torso kind of relax around the spine. The foam roller naturally kind of creates this pressure along the vertebrae, which is quite pleasing, I have to say, or at least I find it quite pleasing. Taking a breath in, my leg closest to the camera is going to come up to tabletop, going from 4 points of contact to 3 points of contact, reaching the leg out, feeling the abdominals kick in and back. Exhaling out and back. I always find that once I add something unstable, like a foam roller or a ball, I have
have to really think of engaging through that inner thigh a little bit more. Because if I let that leg start to fall out to the side, I'm going to fall off of the prop that I'm using. So suddenly inner thigh on the supporting leg and core oblique end up kicking in way more once you've added something unstable. One more time here, or at least that's what I find. We're going to make it a bit more challenging. Opposite arm is going to reach up. Take a moment to feel that nice heaviness of the arm in the shoulder blade, and we're going to reach it all along and pull it back in. Reach it out and in. Two more like this. So I still have my neutral spine. I'm not jamming my back down into the mat for extra support. I'm just really pulling my abdominals in and around, finding that pelvic floor engagement. Last one here. Bring the arm up first. Keep the leg straight. Bring the leg up. We're going to go into 5 circles with the leg. Circling the leg around. Whoo, feeling how suddenly as you take that leg out to the side, this is why I'm moving slowly through it. It's very easy to lose your support system here and fall off the foam roller. You can also bring the hand down. We're going to reverse the direction. You can bring the hand down if it feels too unstable for you. Let's do this for 4. Lots of inner thigh on the supporting leg. 3, 2, and 1. Bend the leg, bring it down, and the arm comes down. All right, other side. So the arms are going to stay connected to begin. Breath in, exhale. Bring that leg to tabletop. Find that inner thigh on the supporting leg, and we're just reaching out and in. Check in with yourself as you extend your leg out. Are you starting to get a little tense in somewhere in your spine? You might not be engaging abdominals quite as much as you need to if you feel like you're getting pretty grippy somewhere in your back. So just checking in with yourself on that. Let's do 2 more here. One more time. And then we're going to bring the opposite arm up. And we're reaching it out. And again. Let's do 3 more like this. And 2 more like this. Lots of good inner thigh work here. One more time. Bonus one here. Hold. Arm up, leg up, circle 1. Woo, circle 2. Feel that shift that happens through the abdominals as that leg makes that circle around. 1 more. Reverse that direction. And 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 1 more here. 6. Lower the arm down, bend that leg, and come on all the way down. We're going to go into some hip rolls, which feel quite lovely on the foam roller. Let's just keep our hands by our side for the first couple. Breath in. On the exhale, thinking of that same movement that we did with our half rollbacks as I roll myself through the spine, picking up the bum, rolling to where the base of my shoulder blades are. Even though I can't feel my shoulder blades, I don't want to go up onto my neck. And then melting down, melting down. Now, you're not going to come up as high in this hip roll, obviously, because you're already so much higher than the base of your feet. But that's okay, because you can really feel those vertebrae peeling themselves off of the foam roller and melting themselves back down. And that is just so lovely feeling. Let's bring the arms up for the last two here. Breath in and exhale. Rolling yourself up. I've got good glute and inner thigh support, core active here, melting down. And one more time. You can see my foam rollers shake, shake, shaking. And melting and melting and melting. And arms down. Okay, we're gonna move into some abdominal work here. Hands coming behind the head. I'm gonna tip my chin forward, start to reach out through the top of my head as I curl just to the base of my shoulder blades, and then roll back down. And again, curling up. Inner thighs really active here, pelvic floor really working. Curling up. And again. Let's do this for 6. And 5. 4. 3. So I'm not moving very quickly here. 2. Because I don't want to fall off the foam roller. Last one here. But also sometimes moving more slowly, you feel the work a bit more deeply. So we're going to go into obliques now. I'm going to curl up and rotate. So feeling how that little bit of rotation, again, you can see my foam roller wants to roll quite a bit here and down. Other side, curling up, and then I'm going to rotate. Find my neutral and come back down. So I am coming through neutral to turn. And my challenge here is not to swing my legs to the opposite side as I do this, but to try to keep them in neutral, inner thighs, very active to help with that. And again. One more time on each side, because we are going to build on this, of course. Last one. All right. I'm just going to bring my arms up to the ceiling. Let them fall back behind me. I find that sometimes if I keep my arms behind the head in an ab curl for too long, I just get a little sore in my elbows. So I like to stretch out the arms between abdominal work. And I also get a bit of a nice stretch through the abs that I was just working. So now one hand is behind the head, one hand is down. The opposite leg to the arm that's up, it comes up. I'm going to curl straight through center and down. And now I'm going to rotate toward the leg. And down. Straight through center. And then rotate toward the leg. Oh, so much harder. So I've changed my 2 points of contact to a leg and an arm rather than both legs. And just feeling how that kind of shifts the game a little bit. And rotate. And I'm going to do one more time like this, curling up. And rotate. Whoo! Arm down, leg down, other side. Hand behind the head, take a moment. Find that pelvic floor, find those abdominals, bring that opposite leg up. Exhale, curl. Exhale, rotate. Exhale, curl.
How's everybody doing? And rotate.
Apologies if you can hear my husband's voice. He's currently on a call. But that's just, what happens when you're working out at home. One more time. Last one here. And down. Okay, so we have played with the feet down. We've played with the one leg up. We've played with the hands up behind the head. We've played with one arm up, one arm down. What's left here? Both legs in the air. So I am actually going to find an imprint here. So I'm going to take a breath in. On my exhale, think of that half roll back movement. So I do want my low back to come into contact with the mat, but I want to make sure that I've done it by using my muscles and not just jamming my bones into the mat or into the foam roller. I want to use the pelvic floor to deepen those abdominals, find that length in my lumbar spine where I'm still very supported, and the legs come to tabletop. We are going to just go into some nice toe taps from here. Tapping one toe down to the floor and up. And because our neutral is now, technically my neutral is here, but we are increasing our range of movement because we're higher than the floor. So working so much harder through the abdominals. Try not to get too grippy in the neck on this. One more time on each side, and then we're just going to do some nice fun frogs to finish on our backs on the foam roller. Okay, heels together, toes apart, finding a nice diamond shape with the legs. Nice activity in those heels. We are pressing out into a lovely long leg and then coming back into that nice diamond. Exhale. And the lower you go with the legs, the harder it is for the abdominals. So work however you would like to challenge yourself, but know that it's very easy to pull into your back on the foam roller. So work within a range where you're actually engaging the abdominals and not just pulling and supporting through those back muscles. Two more. One last time here. And in, legs to tabletop. Exhale, long exhale, and release. There is no graceful way to get off of the foam roller, so I just kind of roll myself off. Before we go into our prone work, I just want you to take a moment to lie on the mat and just feel your back. I hope it feels as nice as mine feels. I'm going to go into a couple of hip rolls here, just rolling easily through the spine. Feels so nice. I feel like I have so much more movement in my back now. And coming down. So just taking a moment to just feel how nice the back feels right now. All right, we're gonna come onto our bellies. The foam roller is now across the mat, and I'm gonna place the foam roller, palms are gonna face each other, and the foam roller is at about my wrist or just above my wrist. I'm opening my legs a little wider than hip distance, and I've turned them out. Pulling the belly in, glutes are on. On my exhale, lengthening up through the spine. So I've nudged my nose. As I come up, I'm gonna roll the foam roller toward me just a little bit, and then melt myself back down. And again, nudging the nose, opening up through the collarbone. I can feel the shoulder blades glide down my back a little bit on this, which is fine. And then reaching those shoulder blades as I reach through those fingers. And down. And down. One more time into that little extension, and I'm going to stay. I'm just going to bend my elbows, pull the foam roller. It's going to start to roll onto my hands, and then I'm going to reach it out. But I want to lead with my elbows. So my elbows start to bend. I feel the shoulder blades glide toward each other, and then I reach out. Pulling those abdominals in, keeping that little lift in the chest. Keep those glutes active. You want to make sure here that you don't start to sink into your back. It'll feel pretty uncomfortable. So really keep those abs on. Stay lifted up through the chest. We have one more here. Reach those arms out. Lower everything down. We're going to do a little glute work, but we're going to leave the foam roller out of this. So taking a breath in. On the exhale, lifting the legs up. And let's do little beats. We're going to beat those heels together. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flex the feet. Beat them 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Point and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flex and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Point and 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flex and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. One more set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flex the feet and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Pause, point the feet. Little tiny flutter kicks. Little flutter kick, little flutter kick. Kick, 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 kick. For 6, pull those abs in. Don't forget those abs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach the legs out, lower them down. Just push yourself back to a little child's pose for a moment. You can take the foam roller with you if you'd like. It's nice to have your hands on something there. Stretch those bum cheeks out. All right. We are going to now move into some side lying leg work with our foam roller. Taking the foam roller, I'm going to lie down on my side, and my top leg is going to come to rest on the foam roller. The bottom leg is going to reach out nice and long. Trying to keep my hips square. The top leg is really just kind of hanging out. I'm going to flex my bottom leg, flex that foot, and then reaching out through that heel, I'm going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. So it's just kind of nice to have the foam roller there for the leg to rest on. It allows my thigh bone to sink directly into the hip joint rather than if I didn't have the foam roller there, my knee and shin would be on the mat, which would put my leg at an angle, and then I'm not quite centered in my hip joint. So this is just kind of a nice place to work from. 2 more lift and lowers. Last one, reach out through that heel. Let's do little circles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. Reversing those circles. 3 and 4. Keeping those abdominals pulled in. 7 and 8. Holding the leg up. So I still have a hover here. I'm still feeling that inner thigh work. I'm going to come 1 inch higher, 1 inch lower. 1 inch higher, 1 inch lower. So just kind of moving, not very quickly, but deliberately. Up and down, feeling those inner thighs, 3, 2,
1, and all the way down. All right, so we're not flipping right away to the other side, but we're changing our orientation to the foam roller. Coming on to my forearm now, the foam roller is really just gonna act as just a tool to let me know where my ribs are living. So I have the foam roller just underneath my bottom rib, and I'm lifted up. So you can see if I lift my shirt up, I've got some space between the foam roller and my rib cage. What I like about this is if I start to sink in the exercise, I come into contact with the foam roller. So I know I've lost my oblique support because I have something telling me that I've lost my oblique support. So I want to stay lifted. My legs are about 45 degrees, hips are square, and we're going into our classic clam exercise. So engaging the glute, wrapping around the thigh bone, lifting the leg up and back down. Trying not to sink in the ribs, so my oblique remains active, but if I start to sink, I will feel it. Up and down. So keeping the hips nice and square here, really trying to avoid that roll back. Let that thigh bone move in the hip joint on its own. Don't let the hip help it. For 3, and 2, and 1. Hold that. Extend the leg and down. Extend, touch those toes. Try to stay lifted in that oblique. This is where we typically start to lose our support. Did you touch down onto your foam roller? Check in with yourself. Push that floor away with the forearm. You have 4 left. For 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Coming down, lower the leg with control. We're not done yet. Lift those feet up. Go back to the clam series. And 2. This is where you're going to start to feel tired. If it's going into the neck, you can turn to look toward the floor. 5 more here. But this is where you might start to feel like you're coming into contact with that foam roller. So you can take a break if you need to, or reconnect, pull those ribs in, go back to the exercise. Stay on up there, reach it out and back. Reach it out and back. 8, and 7, 6. Feeling that work for 5. Keep that bottom foot lifted. 4, and 3, 2, 1. Lower the knee, then lower the legs. And we flip ourselves to the other side. So, going into our nice inner thigh work to begin. Top leg gets a break. The poor leg that we just worked, it now has to work. Reaching out through that heel, lifting that leg up, and then coming back down. Lifting it up and back down. Hips are square. This leg gets a break. Let's do this for 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2. We've got 8 circles here, reaching up through that heel for 8, for 7, for 6, 5. And you can feel if you want to wobble, because again, the foam roller will start to move if your pelvis starts to rock back and forth, and then reverse the direction. So having a prop is sometimes a really great indicator as to where we might be cheating. It just kind of helps to shine a light on where we could improve upon our stability. 3, 2, and 1. Come 1 inch higher and 1 inch lower. 1 inch higher and 1 inch lower. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, that leg is already tired, 2, and 1, and then come on all the way down. Let's grab that foam roller. Take a moment to check in with yourself. Are you sinking? I already want to just relax right into it. So lifting up that bottom rib, tummy is nice and supported. Let's go into our clams. Hips remain square. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, checking in with yourself. 2, stay on up there. We've got to do 10 little kicks here. And 2, and 3, and 4. So I'm trying to keep my thigh bone exactly where it is. I'm just working from my knee for 3, 2, and 1. Lower the leg down. Check in with yourself. Did you start to sink? Find that rib support. Lift those feet up. And 10, 9, almost done here. 8, and 7. One last big series when we're done this work. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up there. Reach it and touch. Reach and touch. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down with the knee, down with the legs. Excellent. Okay. Changing our relationship once more to the foam roller. It's really a pretty versatile piece of equipment. We often just use it to roll out sore muscles, but it really, there's some good work to be had here. So we're going to come onto our hands and knees, except my knees, or just below my knees, because I don't want to be right on the joint or right on the kneecap. I'm on my foam roller. Woo, it is unstable. Finding my neutral spine. I can always tuck my toes against the floor if I need more support. So know that you can do that too, okay? I'll keep my feet there to start. So we're gonna engage one leg out and we're gonna lower and lift. Lower and lift. Now where the fun part comes in is when you lift that foot. Just feeling that extra bit of work you have to do. We've got 4 left here. 3, finding that hip hinge. 2, one more time, stay on up there. 8 circles, 1 and 2. Pull those abs in. 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Reversing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bringing the leg in. Now I'd be remiss not to do this particular exercise. So I'm going to come down onto my knees and bring the foam roller closer to the ankles. Reassess my starting position. So I'm actually going to walk myself out a little bit and then lift up. Breath in, exhale, roll legs out, roll with the foam roller, pull those knees back in. This is a knee stretch exercise on the reformer, but you can do this with a big ball. Low abdominals. Let's do this for 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to pull my legs back in, lower down with control. Take a moment. I'm working from my fists because my wrists don't feel great, so I just need a minute there. And then I have to walk myself back out onto my knees for the other side work. So taking a moment to find my neutral pelvis, pulling my abdominals in. I'm going to start with my foot down just to get myself into position. Lowering and lifting the leg 8 times and then bringing my foot up. Keeping the hips square, so really trying not to rotate through the hip and really trying not to overwork the back on this. It's not about how high the leg goes. It's about, are you engaging the proper musculature? Let's do 2 more here. 1, circles 1. 2, push that floor away with those arms. And 4, 3, 2,
1, reversing the direction of that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Coming in. Roll yourself down. I'm going to roll myself back, or I'll be rolling right out of frame here. All right, one last set of the out and ins before we finish up today. So the foam roller is closer to my ankles. Take a breath in. On the exhale, lift those knees. Out we go. Exhale. Pull it in. 3 and 4. 4 more. 2 more. And out. Bonus to come in with control. Lower those knees and relax. To finish, we're just going to do a couple of mermaids on each side, and having a prop to roll for the mermaids is so very nice. So my leg furthest away from the foam roller is, the shin is in line with the edge of my mat. The foot is on the inner thigh of that leg, and I'm gonna go for a nice side bend. And as I side bend, I'm just gonna roll out on that foam roller. Oh, that feels so nice. And what a lovely, deep side bend I can go into. Here's my challenge though. I have to come back up. So pressing actively into the foam roller to help you come up. It's gonna wake up your obliques. It's gonna wake up your lats and your serratus. Let's do it again. Up and a beautiful side bend over. Enjoy that bend, reach out through those arms, and then start to actively press into the foam roller as you come back up. And we go to the other side. So the foam roller helps you come back up, but it also makes you work a little harder for it. All right, taking a nice breath in and rolling out. Now this is my weaker side. Ooh. Coming up is a little harder. One more time, up and over, enjoying that stretch. Pressing into the foam roller, using those abdominals, and up. I hope you enjoyed our exploration of the foam roller today. We'll most definitely be using it in another props class soon. I'll see you soon. Bye.